Hi friends, this is the Be Real Babe podcast, a place where your average Canadian wolfpack come together to talk about life stresses, messes, and successes. A safe space where being yourself is the ultimate goal. Each week we will bring you new episodes sharing our opinions on a ton of different topics in hopes we can get a better understanding of ourselves, each other, and this crazy world we live in. We want to build a community where we can show up as ourselves, be real, and lay it all out there. By sharing our opinions and experiences, we hope to reach others who can relate so we can all help each other learn, grow, and heal. But please keep in mind, as a disclaimer, none of us here are professionals. No one is giving any advice. We are strictly speaking of our life experiences, our opinions, and for entertainment purposes only. Now, with that being said, it's time. So grab your drink, grab your joint, and let's jump right in. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to the Be Real Babe podcast. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by the show today. We hope that you have a good time. And if you're a returning listener, watcher, supporter, thank you guys so fucking much from the bottom of our hearts from coming back time and time again. For those that don't know me, my name is Brandy and I am the host of the show. And y'all, we are getting into it. We're going back to monthly topics with a mix of experience in here. We're so excited for season 5, you guys, like we mentioned in the last episode. So this one, we are titling it Cults or Not. And we're going to let you decide if the quote unquote organizations, religions, cults, whatever you want to call them, is in fact a cult by your definition, by ours. Obviously, we're going to share our opinions. That's all that this is. Opinions. Please don't sue us. Anybody, I don't want to get sued. This is just, again, weird shit we find on the internet that doesn't seem to have very much informed consent. So the first organization, religion that we're going to look into is Scientology. A little bit nervous about this one, guys, because there's so much of this one. We don't actually know what we're talking about. This is what we've gathered from the internet. So highly suggest to go find real Scientologists and past Scientologists and understand from their point of view what it is to them. But as outsiders with opinions, because that's what we do, that's what we do. This is what we have seen, what we've collected, and what we've thought about this religion. And so we want to present what we found to you and encourage you to go look into it and you decide for yourself and let us know what you think. Sorry, guys, you're getting me like this today because super greasy and had no time to shower, so don't mind this, but I am so excited, you guys. I'm so excited to get back into a new season. We are on episode 106, if I didn't say that already, and again, cults or not, Scientology, y'all decide. But before we get on to the show, if you are watching on YouTube or Rumble, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can find out when we drop episodes by turning on those notification bells and all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do. We do have an Instagram page. That is where we will be bringing up all of these topics, sharing stuff. So make sure you're following us on there. Give us a chat. And if you are listening on Spotify, Apple, all of the podcast platforms, please, if you can have time, leave your babes some reviews. I don't know what is going on, but we have hit an algorithm and there's a bunch of you coming and showing up here. And we cannot be more thankful. What a season to come back to. So anyways, I'm going to shut the fuck up and we are going to get on to the show because this one was a lot of fun. Let's go. All right, babes, it's time to get on to the show. So in studio today, I have my babe, Hales. Hey, babe.
Hey.
And we have our other babe, Dee. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Guys, we are so excited about this one. I'm so excited about this one. I don't know about you guys, but this was like the foundation of like me and Kayla's friendship. I think when we started, it was like conspiracies and cult behavior. So it was just like, yes, let's talk about it on the show.
Who knew there was so many to get through too? I can't wait for this.
I know.
Once you start digging, there's too many.
Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, Scientology, because I had a very different, I don't even remember now what my view was, but it was not to what it is. And I was like, oh yeah, like sure, let's look into it. And I started looking into it. I was like, holy fuck. Right. Like just more and more. And I was like, I've already like taken in so much information and I've barely even scratched the surface. Like there's so much to it.
There is. And I think what's interesting about it is it's like they think that everything's secretive and like people don't know. But there's so many people that know that we do know about it. So before we keep going, and I said this in the beginning, this is hypothetical for entertainment purposes only. We're just reading shit off the internet. Please don't sue us, Scientology.
Yes.
We're just
we do not know what they are.
Yeah, we don't know.
Religion, cult, a hobby, we don't know.
We don't know. So this month, is it cult and nat? And we're going to let you guys decide, give our opinions at the end of the shit that we have read. And if a current Scientologist wants to come on and explain from their point of view,
Ooh, I would love to.
I would love that. But this is what
Mm-hmm.
we've read. And the reason why is that you put in cults and we picked ones that came up, you know? So yay.
The most popular too.
And popular ones, yeah.
Yeah,
And
ones
so big.
and sneaky ones,
Huge.
right? Like Dee just said, like sneaky ones that you just don't know, or that fall under the religion, right? And you know, like I'm not
or
trying to say
organization.
organization, but it's like
They word them very carefully.
They word it everything, and that is the number one
Whatever
thing
counts as tax free will be called that.
Yes.
Right.
And the one thing I find very interesting about going through reading about Scientology is that they're very particular about their wording. And words are like very important. You know what I mean? Like
they're very intentional.
And very intentional with their words, which I like. And
like politicians.
Yeah, right. And like one thing I will say, and I'm going to say this at the beginning of this, like a lot of the times I feel like these organizations or what have you start off with like sounding like really great things. Like, you know, we'll get into it, but I
feel like everything begins with good intent.
Yes.
Like the base, yeah.
Yeah, and like when you hear about it, it draws people in, right? And so, you know, that's why some anti-MLMers on the YouTube platform will say that MLM behavior is like cult behavior because of some of the like no questioning, you know, we'll get into that down the road, but I just find that kind of interesting. And that's, I think, what drew me to this right away was because like I am a person at a vulnerable time that could get taken by this. Like I must be straight now. Like I feel like I was a part of a cult in a past life.
See, and I feel like I'd be so hard for a cult. Like they'd kick me out, like send me home, goodbye, we don't want you, return application. Like,
yeah,
I just
he's asking too many questions. Yeah,
I'm like, why are we following him? Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
Like, what's he like? I'm too like. They'd be like, bitch.
And a Xenu does what now?
He is
Oh, dude, just you wait. Like it's
right,
crazy.
but like I don't think I'd be that person now. But like dial back to like right after my divorce, when I had nobody and I was living in Grand Prairie by myself and I was trying to like rebuild my life.
Yeah,
debated joining every pyramid scheme in the book, and I just happen to not.
Yeah. I feel like everyone kind of has that period in their life where they're just kind of vulnerable. I feel like everyone's gone through that.
They're looking for a purpose and saving the planet. Like every one of these, their theme is like for the most part, minus like
their base core.
Their base core is like
kind of value,
and it's like really
I feel
great.
I feel like they probably would have. I wonder how many people like joined up during COVID when everything was super doom and gloom and like everyone's just looking for like a gleam of. I feel like that's when they get people, right? Like when people are just hurting.
Yes, and I've been there, and that's why I have spoken out on my pieces on MLMs because it happened to me. And I didn't lose thousands of dollars, thank fuck, but some people did. And I think that's why this
had my hair fried off.
Oh no.
Monat, however you want to say that shit.
No.
I'm calling it out. I don't care. I posted it a long time ago. Like
honestly. And it's right. And so that's the problem. So I think that's what intrigued me about cults and looking into it. And that's what kind of, because I was like, okay, how did I get so fooled? Like, and maybe it's because I just don't want to feel like an idiot and I wanted a reason. And then it was just like, oh, these are some of them. My experience, don't fucking come at me, is these types of practices, right? Is like, okay, so let's read off of Wikipedia quickly about what cults are from here. And then we will go into what we found about Scientology. Okay, so in modern English, cult is a term considered pejorative by some for a social group that is defined by its unusual religious, spiritual, and philosophical beliefs and rituals, or its common interest in a particular personality, object, or goal. The sense of the term is controversial and weakly defined, having divergent definitions both in popular culture and academia, and has also been an ongoing source of contention among scholars across fields of study. It's whatever.
People can change Wikipedia too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make it sound.
I feel like what they're trying to get at too is like, I feel like the connotation for the longest time has been a pretty negative one. When you hear cult, it's not a positive thought. Like it's a pretty like schemy, like seedy weirdness, right? So
because it is. So it says an older sense of the word involves a set of religious devotions practices that is conventional within its culture, is related to a particular figure, and is frequently associated with a particular place. So I don't like any. This is a stupid. I wish I would have read this before. Anyways, I feel like when I think, okay, I'm just gonna say what I think my definition of a cult. When I think
they knew we were gonna read it, so they changed the definition
yes, of
right
course
before.
they did. Son of a bitches. Okay, here's one. Here's a better one. Cult is a term that doesn't refer to a religion at all, but is applied to a social movement. People have intuitive feelings about how the word cult should be used, even when an organization or movement meets the criteria of a new religion. Take, for example, Scientology and Mormonism.
I feel like it's like cult following too, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of all, because I don't feel like it necessarily has to be like a structured religion or structured thing. Because like think of like, I don't know, just like not Moonies, but like just like hippie people that you see on movies that all join to this like weird group of like like it's not necessarily a structured thing. It can be like just a following and a movement as well, I think.
I agree. And I think the one thing that stands apart with Scientology is that it does leap onto that religious tag, so they don't have to pay taxes, from my understanding.
That's 100% the purpose of becoming a religion, was to save on taxes. It's a multi-million or billion-dollar business.
A business,
for lack of better words.
Exactly, a non-for-profit
business,
right?
Yeah. That's like they're not asking for like coins in like a tray every week. Yeah. So to say.
I agree. Yeah. And so for me, I think, and you guys tell me what you guys think. For me, a definition of a cult is when they do things like eliminate all your contact with your family and really break you apart of who you are,
and bring you into
and turn them into mold them into what a
collective or a group
they want. Yes. And so to me, it's like that brainwashing, that movement where it's like you devout everything without question, and if someone questions it, you freak the fuck out.
Try to cancel them.
That's kind of like, to me, as culty behavior. I'm just saying. And so like so that's what I think it is. It's like, I think it all starts in a good place. I think people have the right thought, and I don't want to shade anybody that is a part of this. Like I said, I'd be that for myself.
Well, I feel like a lot of them, like the first few people who kind of start it or get it together, or the ideas, like they have good intentions, but then once it gets too large and some crazy ass takes over,
or it was a crazy ass that started it.
I hate to say that it really was not started with good intention, in my opinion.
Well, there we go.
Okay, well, that's a perfect lead into then, Hales. Let's walk through what kind of tell us.
What I found for the beginning of Scientology is so it's a belief system that was first proposed by famous fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard in the 1950s with the publication of a book called Dianetics. So Dianetics was like the beginning of his, in my opinion, it was an MLM because he was selling the books.
Yes, he was.
So
and he was selling books. Amway, was he not?
And like
people are paying for things to get back.
So Dianetics was it was like a self-help thing, kind of aimed to offer a sense of, it says, psychological enlightenment through a concept called mental auditing. So their big thing was Dianetics was, like a series of books that you go through. I'm pretty sure it was probably like a mail out book thing to start before he had like mass people. And it was to mentally audit. And, so it's like, how would I put this? It's a spiritual, it says right here, it's a spiritual examining that purports to delve into your past experiences and traumas in order to get the root of what is bothering you and ultimately free you of worry and make you clear, as a Scientologist would call it. So what they're trying to do is, like with good intention, it's pretty much self-help stuff to just kind of like mentally help you and clear your mind and to like focus you and to like guide you and direct you. So base layer,
beautiful.
I feel like base layer, it has good intention, but I still don't believe L. Ron Hubbard created it with good intention.
I completely agree.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's like the wrong hands. The right modality, like, wrong hands.
Exactly. It's a helpful kind of tool, but like just wrong hands completely. Like,
yeah.
So clear Yeah, no, keep going, B, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, I find when you listen to a lot of the survivors, and I'll shout this out right now, Aaron Levin Smith, find him on YouTube, Growing Up in Scientology or with Scientology. He's got an amazing channel. He tells you everything you need to know. We are just talking about what we find from our side on the outside.
Yeah.
So you go listen to this real Scientologist. But,
Yeah.
oh, what was I going with that? Because I wanted to make sure I said his name.
It's just...
No, so the survivors are always saying the one thing that they will credit is that the self-help stuff is something that they will always take away as a positive, and that they wished it was more like about that
just
versus
that.
Yeah, just that.
Yep.
And not that like you need to pay more to, and we'll get into like this whole situation, but that is one thing I'll agree. Like, again, base layer, saving the world, making the world a better place, making yourself a better place. Fucking dope. I'm into that. The rest of this shit, I'm not.
It goes way higher from there,
goes
right?
way higher from there. So sorry, I just wanted to say that that's one thing that I noticed was most survivors will say.
Yeah.
The best part is the shit I learned about myself and life and communication and
what gets you kind of
in the door.
Yeah.
And spending like, I'm going to say lower amounts of money. I don't know exact prices, so do not quote me. Do not come after me. But I'm assuming you could probably like, I don't know, spend, I'd have to say at least like $5,000 on some of these courses, classes, books, like whole programs.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I feel like I could see them selling it like, look, this is for like your lifetime. It's to better you in this way. And the way they do this is by auditing, like I said, but they use the e-meters.
Yeah.
So an e-meter is a Scientology lie detector device used in auditing and sec checking. It's an electronic measuring device that records the level of resistance of a small electrical current that passes through the body. According to Hubbard, it can read your thoughts and tell you when you're lying. And the Scientologists believe this. If they fail in auditing, it is a big fucking deal. Like, you do not fail these audits in any way.
Did you guys
and obviously...
Did you watch
the
documentary series that I sent at all by chance? Because
some of it,
yeah. So these guys went in, and we'll share it on the page. And I'm sorry, I forgot what it's called, but it's just the funniest documentary. But on it, he said he was figuring out that when he would squeeze it, it would react. So for the first time, he was just like squeezing it like crazy and feeding the auditor like, oh, you know, and just like doing that.
You're lying. What did you do? Confess type
exactly.
shit.
Yeah. And he was doing that, and then the next time he went back, he didn't move at all. And so they made him like wash his hands and like do all the stuff with his powder on because it wasn't reading it, but he just wasn't reacting because he knew what it was going to do.
He figured out the
trigger. So it's like, believe what you want, but like a lot of people will say, and
I'm sure they even lie about what some of the results are just to get people to go back down to pay again to get back up again.
100%. Well, that's what they do. You have you didn't pass, so you have to go do this course, or you have to go do this cleanse, or you have to go do this whatever. Because it's all about climbing, right? You're climbing and spending
over and
money,
over again,
and they're going to make
over and over again.
Continue.
We're not going to say you're climbing the pyramid.
I mean, they call it a bridge.
There's a ladder, a bridge. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
They make it sound so lovely.
And two, like, also, when they're doing these auditings, the auditor is recording everything. So what you'll see, what you guys will come to see in this month where we talk about cult or not, is that they have blackmail. Like, a lot of the time, there's like a blackmail to that. So it's everything you have in here that you said intentionally to help yourself is gonna turn around and be blackmail at some point, especially if you leave and speak out against them. Supposedly.
Then they just try to cancel you, ruin you, like.
Well, and that's why they try and become the best, right?
Yeah. And like
they have to be,
but just be honest. Like, that's all we care about. Like, be real, babes. Like, that's all we're saying.
They don't know how though. They're completely controlled into being very good, very behavior. Like, dude, the labor.
It's sad when they leave because they don't even know who they are.
It's crazy. Like, their whole purpose is to take, like, if you have a child in Scientology, they are taken away, put in schools until they're old enough to do like manual labor at like camps and stuff.
Yeah, they don't even consider them kids.
No, they're
like young adults,
young people, right? Like they're people in young people's bodies. Like, it's ridiculous.
They're adults in little people's bodies. Which, if you like think about that, like on that in another way,
it's creepy. It's just weird. And so, like,
with the amount of sexual abuse too.
He obviously was wanted for like a while, and definitely like that's why they created the Sea Org, was to, he's not a stupid man.
No.
So he like took off to the sea in this huge huge boat, like not a fancy boat, but like a shipping ship, like a
barge,
huge metal whatever, barge type thing, with a bunch of like, I'm gonna say like not kids in a creepy way, but like all the younger, like teenage, like young adolescent, I'm gonna say like 10 to like 20 something, were on this boat because they're the best and the brightest, and they were easy to manipulate. I mean, they were easily controlled by him.
Young, right? And they're vulnerable.
That's what they would get, all the vulnerable parents, and then once they had your kids, like a lot of the people that are out that have kids in it don't get to see their kids anymore.
Yeah,
because they cut them off.
Yep.
Anyone who questions is a suppressive person. They're cut off immediately. You're not allowed. Like,
and that's for their
it's
fair
scary
game policy. It's the destruction of someone who goes against or critiques them, right? So, which I find kind of funny. Like, not funny. It's not funny. That's not the word. But I find it super interesting that it's like, no, we're not a cult, but you can't speak against us.
Yeah, they're very like
speaking against
their fair game is scary.
We're just
like they've like
a lot of their policies are scary.
They've killed people and they've hurt people and ruined lives over this shit. Like,
and there was a thing too, Leah Remini? Yeah,
Remini.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, now I lost my train of thought focusing on her last name.
I hate when you do that. But I loved watching her on Joe Rogan. So that's one thing too, guys. Like you said, Leah Remini, for those
I did watch that.
Had an A&E documentary, but she was also on Joe Rogan, which is really, really good. And then also Miscavige's dad is on Joe Rogan like 5 years ago, and David Miscavige is like L. Ron Hubbard now, kind of like he's the one that like runs it. And I don't know if you guys know this, but he got served with papers yesterday. So like there is stuff
about his wife.
No, I don't know what it was. I didn't have a chance because it literally just happened. I'm like, I'm fucking have time before
his wife hasn't been seen in like.
Seen his wife for like
she's
years?
Just been gone.
Like years.
Right, it's just a really crazy place, and stuff is like I said, there's a lot more out there. But yeah, the fair game policy. Leah Remini, she got like rang through.
She got hit hard.
So Joe Rogan, when he had David Miscavige's, I think it was Ron Miscavige, on his show 5 years ago. You have to go back. I think it's episode like 948 around there. Don't quote me on that. Which is a long way back for him. He had to read out, Joe Rogan had to read out a statement from the Scientology, Church of Scientology.
They had it play after every episode of Remini. Yeah.
And they had to do that so they didn't sue. So it's just like, I'm not saying like, why can't, you're free to criticize me all you want to and post a video about it. I don't like, why?
No, they're adamant on not allowing.
But
that's you're not allowed.
I'm probably gonna die. You guys, this is like our first episode of season 5 and the last one. I'm just kidding. We love you. We join you. We're sorry.
Can we talk about what
now? If you see somebody and and like they die or commit a crime or just anything like that, like you're also not allowed to like say, like if both are Scientologists, like if you see a Scientologist kill somebody, like you're not allowed to say a single thing to anybody at all. Like it's
E-meter.
To say anybody
get in trouble.
Like I think Leah Remini said that like I wanted to tell everybody about this, but we're told that we can't because we'll get you sick. You'll get pneumonia. You'll get cancer if I tell you these things.
They like didn't have internet, and like when they would come out for the first time, or people would escape and they Google Scientology because they don't have any of that, or it's all like they have books, like it's, you don't get the computer. So they Google Scientology and see all the awful things that are said about them. Is just like
and this
like it would be mind shattering.
He has glasses on, so he's going in and talking to them, and he was like, don't Google it, everything is a lie, fake news, like don't anything you read. And like I'm just gonna say, guys, some of the things that we've been saying, what does that sound familiar? Fake misinformation, disinformation, like that just
I was just gonna say, if you have to tell people that,
then there's something wrong.
I'm just saying, it's kind of fucking weird. And so then there's levels. So right, like there's levels that you do, and
there's a lot of levels.
So much money.
Like
so
you
much
have
money
to go up. Like let me see here if I can count this quick. So there's all the like mental health, self-help, like that kind of stuff. And then there is class 0 through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 0 through 12, you go up this thing, and there is like like the amount of courses, classes, prerequisites, teaches about, like, it's just a lot. Like it's like painful.
So there's so many books. Like Leah Remini had just one bookcase on her show, and that was because she made it to close to the top.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
at the top.
So much, and like
hundreds of
you have to buy multiples because they redo one, which she said it's still the same, but they'll change the cover or maybe a couple words or something, and you have to buy the new one.
My God.
Yeah,
and, like, who has some money for this? Like,
so you're always buying new books.
Yep.
Dude, they were like getting people hard for this. Like the money that people spend is like within the millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
Because there's
I'm blown away by that. That's why they try to get celebrities so much, right? Because
for sure,
that's their like money.
And it makes sense. Have you seen their buildings, their churches?
So they were mansions. At one point like buying up real estate like crazy, because to become a religion, you have certain like requirements, and that's why they want it to be tax free, is because now they can claim all these properties as like churches or like whatever the hell. So you would be dumbfounded at the amount of property this business owns.
And they're just everywhere.
They're literally everywhere. But
I think we've got like 5 or 6 in Canada, all across.
A lot in the States, like worldwide.
Oh yeah,
not just Western too. Like everywhere.
So there's
no, you go ahead.
No, I'll say so. There's the 12 classes. There's 2 auditor classes, and then there is, I'm gonna say like another 12 like levels, and then there's, once you get to OT, is the high levels where you're learning the big shit.
That's not even OT levels. That's before levels, which is operating thetans. If you guys want to know,
we are going to have to like post this, because I don't know if it's going to work or not. It's not going to work. This list.
Too bright.
Sorry, guys. This list is like, when you see it, it's one of those like, I gotta take all these fucking classes. Like, are you?
And I'm not gonna be a doctor by the end of this.
And like, so there's the OT levels.
But they have to study like 12 hours a day, or like when you're not working, you're doing that, and if you are working, you got to figure out a time to get your hours in and stuff. Like it's insane.
So getting up to OT 15 is when we learn of the origin, the OG origin story of Scientology and Xenu.
Who is Xenu?
Are you ready?
I'm so
ready. Are you
ready.
gonna die?
Pretend this is popcorn.
God. Xenu, also called Xemu, is a figure of the Church of Scientology Secret's advanced technology and a sacred and historic teaching. Get ready. According to the technology, Xenu was an extraterrestrial ruler of the Galactic Confederacy who brought millions of his people to Earth, known as Tegiak. I don't know what that is, but whatever. In DC-8, like spacecraft, 75 million years ago, stacked them around volcanoes and killed them with hydrogen bombs. Official Scientology scripture holds that the thetans, immortal spirits, of these aliens adhere to humans, causing spiritual harm. So he put all these people on Earth around volcanoes, or thetans, exploded them with hydrogen bombs, and their whatever went into people. Okay?
We have them in us.
These events are known within Scientology as the Incident 2, and the traumatic memories associated with all the wall of fire or the R6 implant. The narrative of Xenu is part of the Scientology teachings about extraterrestrial civilization and alien interventions in earthly events, collectively described as space opera by L. Ron Hubbard. Hubbard detailed the story in Operating Thetan Level 3, so OT3, in 1967, warning that the R6 implant, which is past trauma, was calculated to kill by pneumonia, etc., anyone who attempts to solve it. Like, this guy was like fucked.
And wasn't he a science fiction writer? Isn't that like...
He's a science fiction writer, yes.
But he was just all of a sudden known this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says right here, the Church of Scientology normally only reveals the Xenu story to members who have completed a lengthy sequence of courses costing a large amount of money. So you literally only learn this when you are an OT, like the top level. This is the secret you're working towards. And watching Leah Remini's reaction to
Because you paid.
fucking kidding me? She's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what I paid for. I've paid like $1 million+
Literally so
to learn
much.
about that. It is a science fiction book.
Literally.
Science fiction book. And
when I learned that, I cried laughing.
And like I already didn't like Tom Cruise because of like Scientology and the whole Katie Holmes thing. And then when I learned about
it's just tragic.
I was like, this is and the shitty thing is like you almost had me up until that point. You know, like everything sounded pretty nice up until that. Until that sound terrible.
No.
That and the
but you don't even get to learn that until like you're done.
Until
you're fucked.
And then and the one thing that Leah said, because they're like, well, why did you keep doing this? It's just like, because you keep being told like the next level, the next course, it all makes sense. You know, it'll make sense. And you know,
you'll
like,
become this.
Yeah, her mom was like a top auditor.
It may be called a bridge, but you're literally like you're doing one of these.
And you
while
can
falling
also, like,
down all the time.
Down, and then you know exactly
snakes and ladders.
Yes,
up
and
a
they hold all
pyramid.
this stuff against you too, which I find kind of crazy. So it's like, yeah, so lots of celebrities, like we said, Tom Cruise. So by proxy, Nicole Kidman, who got out, was
same with Katie Holmes.
Said Leah Remini was John Travolta. I don't know if he still is he still practicing?
Jerry Seinfeld was.
Jerry Seinfeld
what?
was. Yeah,
I know.
I have a note on that here. Jerry Seinfeld took courses
Brad Pitt
in interest, but he went into other religions. Yeah, Brad Pitt
when he dated his
Juliette Lewis. Yeah, who is if everyone doesn't remember her, what is she? God,
she's in a lot.
She looked familiar, but yeah.
I think she was in.
I can't think of it.
I can't even think of any.
I can see her face, but she's Hold on, this is driving me nuts now. I can see her face in like movies. Anyways,
Jenna Elfman was a part of it.
Jada and Will were
Tom Cruise's exes.
Every single one Tom Cruise exes. Lisa Marie Presley, Patrick
Nicole
Swayze, Nicole Kidman, Danny Masterson.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Pretty much everyone from that 70s show, almost, except for Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was, and also one big one. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but Grant Cardone is also a Scientologist, and I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he is like an internet figure that makes money. He does. Yeah. Do you know who he is?
No.
I'll have to send you guys. Like, he's like he does like a lot of like real estate deals. He I don't know, like when I found out this one, I was like, this is super disappointing, because he's one I actually really enjoy. His wife, she was a part of the Team Academy. She did a presentation there, so we got to not meet her, but like watch the video or whatever. And I really like enjoyed them as like, but then I found out that through another show that he doesn't do the greatest things, and the money pretty much just goes to Scientology.
Shitty.
So
that's the thing though. He all his money will be going to Scientology. That much I can tell you.
That's what you got to do. And you sign also, guys. So when you sign up for a billion-year contract.
Yeah, it's a billion-year contract.
A billion years, because they believe you're going to keep coming back. So you need to be doing this
in all lifetimes.
And the purpose is to clear, like Haley said at the beginning, to clear through auditing.
Yeah. All your shitty past traumas
from the Thetans, right? That blew up or whatever.
Yeah. The volcanoes with the hydrogen bombs.
Real Scientologists are going to hate me even once I left, but like, that's what it sounds like from the outside, guys. Like,
there's so much, it's so hard to explain.
Did you guys know that they originally told John Travolta not to take the role in Grease?
Yes, I did read that.
Because they said it was going to ruin his career.
Because they're supposed to be mainly surrounded by specific kind of people. Yeah. So if there's not enough to like Tom Cruise, this is what Leah Remini was saying in her show anyways, was like, besides obviously the odd people that he's in a scene with, like everybody around him is a Scientologist. Everybody who's bringing him things, helping him, everybody in his life, all around him, besides the people he has to be around for fame and in the movies and stuff.
And
Which
they
is probably
also,
why there's not a lot of people in his scenes
and
that I
there's
could think of.
also, he has a team that goes and finds the right women
Women,
Yeah.
for
it's
him.
been known that he's like,
Yeah.
it's like a matchmaker type situation for
Because
them.
he can't, obviously. And Katie Holmes leaving him, that's huge. Like, that is
I think she did that in part because of Scientology. She wanted out of
Probably.
that shit
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Surrey.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, she wanted to protect
Probably
the
didn't want to
daughter.
lose kids. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she,
And that's why a lot of people stay.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Well, that's why they
absolutely.
need celebrities too, though, is to endorse it, right? And to like,
Mhm.
look how good we are. We're awesome.
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
she said that what I quote, well, what I read was that Katie Holmes said she was about the age that they would get involved in Scientology, and she didn't want that.
and
for
when
her
they start
daughter.
getting taken away,
When
and
they
they start
taken away.
getting
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
schools and to the camps and
Well,
to the like.
that's a funny part is because like they don't think kids are kids, but if you go to their website and see all of their commercials, it's all about kids being kids and kids having fun, but that's not even
They
their
draw you
motto
in that
at
way.
all.
No.
Yeah.
And another one that I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know who Dr. Berg is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
He does a lot
I've
of
heard
like
of.
health and like he's really into keto
Yeah.
and stuff like that. He also is a Scientologist, and his son came out
Really?
exposing him on YouTube, saying, yeah,
Even
that
Ron Hubbard's own grandson wants
all his money,
Scientology to end.
yeah, all the money is going to Scientology and oppressing people.
That's
And it's
insane.
like, again, we are on the show about informed consent. So Scientology, if you are doing these things and these are what the survivors of your religion say, why aren't you trying to fix this, man? Instead of blocking everybody,
Mhm.
why aren't we like trying to like make things better? You know what? I'm sorry. You know what auditing sounds like to me? It sounds like fucking brainwashing.
The worst part is it's only gotten worse. Like after like Hubbard died in like 86 or something,
think, yeah,
and they thought he was gonna. They thought he was going to come back and like the whole thing, but like David Miscavige is a fucking.
He has beaten people. So many people have just been
physically
raped.
attacked people and like
Yeah.
assaulted people. Like he's a fucking awful. Like Hubbard was weird, but I feel like Hubbard was like one of those like eccentric weirds.
And apparently he did
This
a lot of
guy's
drugs, like
yeah,
like a
this
lot of
guy's
like
just
peyote and ayahuasca, and like did a lot of like that kind of thing. And it's
I
like
think he was one of those like weird artisty
Yes.
type, like fiction writer. Like just
Yeah.
I don't think he was mean.
I don't
think
think
he
Zeno
did it
came
with
to him
a
and
good.
told him this, if that's what it's supposed to be.
No.
Like I don't
No, unless he was
know.
that
think-
mentally ill and in a dream and he thought it was.
I think he like calculatedly, like came up with
'cause he
that
says
and like
it's
went
science.
with that.
Says it's
Yeah.
science.
So,
and it
but I
was-
don't think he was as like aggressive and mean as Miscavige sounds like.
and ego driven. I
And
think for
by
him,
the
it was
way,
more like fun. Like
if you want another rabbit hole,
Yes.
go look into Miscavige's wife.
Yeah, that whole
Shelley
thing.
Miscavige,
She's just
where-
gone.
She's been missing for like
Yeah.
20 some years. They say that he has her like locked up or
Yeah,
I'm
nobody's
missing
like
dead at this
cared
point.
her. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're not even allowed to ask about it.
Yeah.
And in
People
church,
got in trouble.
you get
I
in
think
trouble.
Leah got in trouble. For
Yeah,
asking.
she did.
Well,
Yeah,
they
that
were
was-
friends. They
yeah.
were really good friends, and then she just like kind of disappeared. And Leah kept asking, and they pretty much told her like, "Yeah, like don't fucking ask where she is."
Mm-hmm.
Don't
That's
worry about it.
sketchy.
I had that comment to Haley that said L. Ron Hubbard was thought to come back after 20 years, but a lot believed he would, but he didn't. He also said to have gotten to OT level 9 and above, and was gifted this, and then gifted this to management. So he got up to the OT 9. He did everything, and then he gifted it to David Miscavige. I think
They're pretty much
Mhm.
played it off too with like, oh, he must have like reached the top and he ascended to wherever. I think like they
So
played
yeah.
it because like
He's
that
completely
like
clear.
totally ruins
Literally, he went back
that,
to wherever.
that ruins their whole theory of like we come back and like
For a
blah
billion
blah blah
years.
like because he was
Yeah.
supposed to come back and so he doesn't and then they're like, oh yeah, no, he's
No,
They're
but-
saying he's doing
clear.
like research in the next ascension or something. He's doing work there and
he's
waiting
getting
for us or
ready.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
guys.
it's always trying to keep it going, right? Like to sell the lie, and then Miscavige took over, and it's still like the fact that it is still after the documentaries, after Leah Remini's thing, like how the hell
Is it still
it is still going?
I don't
Mm-hmm.
because I think people are the ones that are in it. They don't see anything else, and they just are going to believe that they're terrible people. And this will be a common theme you guys will see through this month of these organizations.
It's the vulnerable, the mentally vulnerable, because they truly make you believe that like whatever they are preaching to you and selling you, like you believe it. That is your life. You literally
You're gonna
don't
find your
work.
purpose. You're gonna be happy.
You don't have school. You literally are in the church. Like, if you're working, it's for the church, and all your earnings go to the church. Like,
Yeah.
That's
it is
live, breathe by their
eat,
rules,
sleep,
always.
everything.
Another one I wanted to bring up was Jada and Will Smith.
Yeah, they've been rumored to be in it.
Yeah, so they accused Leah Remini of hurting them by saying they were Scientologists, saying that they were playing in a weird game of hide and seek at Tom Cruise's house. Supposedly, this is in Leah's book. Jada agrees that it happens in an interview, but then she denies it again. And like, adult hide and seek Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like they, as soon as everything came out and it was bad and it was like looked at like,
maybe
yeah, they wanted to like, we're not involved. Like, don't look at us.
Look at us. And then they got us so upset and they made a big deal and then brought Leah back on the show and they kind of like talked it out. And Leah was like, well, you were doing that because I was a suppressive person and you're not allowed to talk to me. She's like, no, that wasn't it. And it's like, she's like, but that's like handbook like behavior,
textbook, how you're supposed to handle situations.
Practice it. I find a little bit weird. Those guys are weird. Anyways, another one I found interesting is Skrillex was raised by Scientologists, although he didn't claim to be one. He said that they were his homies and he found some value in their fundamentals. I'm paraphrasing.
Weird.
And it was actually reported in the Rolling Stone magazine. Crazy, hey?
Yeah.
That's interesting. But like we've said, like
the
lower level
Presley's were.
The lower level stuff is self-help. Like it could, like, I get why Skrillex would say like, yeah, like there are some values and there are some like things that like are okay and totally like
and I'm
fair,
sure there's a shit ton of people, especially the ones that haven't gotten as high, who don't see it like the guy beating people or just all the like the bad or as much.
All they see is like what it gives to them, and some people do live
or the hope life. Even just in general.
That there's something more. Everyone's always looking for a purpose. Like
so they actually see it with their own eyes, and then they're like, "Holy crap,
this is it!" And then they see it. And Ron Miscavige said that he said he seen it with his own eyes. His son got better for asthma, I think it was, and he was just like, "Holy shit, I'm getting my whole family into this." And he's like, "Turns out, 40 fucking years later, that was a bad idea." And it's like,
dude, and on the flip side of the coin is all the abuse and sexual abuse, and like all the stuff that went on behind closed doors because kids,
Danny Masterson,
vulnerable women, like people are just put
and if
into,
they don't
like,
think they're kids,
they're authoritarian situations where you don't do what I want you to, and some of these people were just creepy and weird. Like, you're gonna get them in every
and they made feel, which I mean, in any, I guess, situation, it's always like that, whether you're part of the
taking advantage of someone that you're in charge of, and like the abuse in the kids camps and like labor camps, made to work like crazy hours, like doing like manual labor that like grown adults don't even enjoy.
Yeah, like people, they were working by like 10, 11, or just, don't quote me on that one, but just so young.
So young, because they're not seen as kids, right? And they got to start working right away.
They start pulling their weight. Building new buildings and all sorts of weird shit.
And these buildings are shutting down now too. I think we're going to start to see the beginning of the end of
the crumble.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but or maybe at least it'll come back to maybe where it started from. But I think, like I said, y'all lost me at the fucking Xenu thing. Like, I believe if we come back, I believe our souls come back, and I do believe that you learn more, and every experience and timeline that you come back to, you do learn. But you lost me at the nitrogen bombs and the fucking alien part.
Volcanoes and shit.
And the holding the things.
And the fact you can only know about it is if you have money
and you
pay to know about it.
And you've paid like $500,000 to, or $2 million, or however much they get out of you for that.
Yes, 100%.
And like, just reading books is supposed to just make you become a different being.
Yeah, how does that work?
I feel like I would have been mad knowing I spent all that money and wishing I would have just like taken the few like $100 courses they first offered.
Like, oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm like millions deep, and you guys fucking, I could have just stopped at like $5,000. Like, this is bullshit.
This is fucking bullshit. I'll have to try to remember that documentary. It's on my phone, and my phone's up here. But the things that I found super interesting, and I want to post it when we launch this, is because he goes in with like like they're like old school Snapchat glasses with videos,
and tries to do like a tour,
and tries to do a tour, and inside. He goes to like he goes to a church session. And the thing that I found really fucked up, it was that so they were literally programming them. They were like, stand up,
Oh, yeah.
sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And that's it. And like, repeat after me. And that's all they did. Hands up,
Oh my
hands down.
God.
And it was like, why are they doing this? It's so that they
See how
can program
susceptible
them
you are.
to
Yeah.
yes, and like diminish who you are as a person. And so I thought that was really fucking interesting. And it was just like, I just
Yeah.
when
Or the fact.
like when Danielle said like she didn't think it was that bad, like I knew it was bad, but watching
When you
what
dive in,
actually
it's
goes
a
on
hard dive.
inside,
Yeah.
you're just like, what? Like, for example, one of the things is they go in and they show you that you should be going into a sauna for 4 hours. This is a 21-day detox, and you have to take all these vitamins, and then you have to go in a sauna for 4 hours a day. If you Google it, you shouldn't apparently be in it more than 1 hour. And it was just like he was explaining
sweat out
$2,500 to do this, and he was like, why can't I just go to Planet Fitness and pay $10?
Literally.
And like, so he right, and it's just like the whole time all they keep saying is, I don't have money for this, I'm broke, I can't even eat. And the people are like, so pay for it, you won't regret it, pay for it.
Well, if you give them money,
if you want to get up,
they'll hold money for you too, like a savings type thing, but they don't let you take any of it out. Like they bring you in with like, yeah, we'll hold it, we'll help you save, blah, blah, blah. But you cannot take anything out. It is meant for and only for courses and classes. They literally get you that way. Like, yeah, no, you've got savings, you got 30 grand. Yeah, we'll hold on to that for you. Don't worry. But that will never be taken out because they will manipulate you into taking courses and classes.
Yeah. And it's just fucked up. Like once you're in there, it's like nothing matters but buying the books, buying the courses, like
getting to the next level.
Anybody else to get to the next level. Don't listen to anybody else. That was the one theme. It was like, don't Google us, don't look us up, don't talk to anyone about this, don't tell your family. Like he was like, oh, my mom's not really into this. It's like, don't talk to your family about this. Like, we need a red flag. I should have got a red flag fucking thing.
It's almost
it would just be going off the whole time.
It's literally grooming. It's what we see with like the new unfortunate alphabet crew.
Yes.
Don't tell your family. We'll keep it a secret.
Yep.
Like, when is that ever okay? When is that ever an okay sentence?
It's never.
Don't tell your family. Don't tell your parents. It's all good. Just don't tell anyone about it. It's our little secret.
Speak out, then you're a bad person and you're not allowed to be talked to. And how many family members have been broken up through this? Like, it's so sad. Like, you watch some of these moms are like, I never get to talk to my kids, or vice versa. Like, kids never get to talk to their parents.
I don't know where they are. I don't know how they're
doing.
Yeah.
Don't know anything.
Think of the kids that got taken onto that freaking Sea Org ship.
Yes.
Like,
I know.
to sea without their parents. Doing, like, mopping the floors, cleaning the bathroom.
I know. So many are just, like, still stuck in it.
Well, they're brainwashed into it. They don't. They're taught that
born and raised literally in it.
Yeah, you don't have parents. The church is your parent. The people that you thought were your parents are just people that brought you here into the world. Whatever. Like they're all thetans or thetans. All of them. Like they're not family. They're all individual worker bees to help the cause.
Yes.
That's another important thing. Is they are like. That family unit is just like torn up like a piece of paper. It does not exist. Once they're in the school system, they are taught that you are not their mother or father, sister, brother. And a lot of kids that are brought into it later have a hard time with that, like kicking that. That's why a lot of people escape and like run away and stuff, right? Yeah. They have a hard time with like, what do you mean that's not my sister? I love my sister. They get taken to a camp. You see your sister getting abused and you're told, you don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, you don't.
That's not your sister.
And I think that's why a lot of, like, they say, like, Danny Masterson, allegedly, that's how he got away with this kind of shit, because he had Scientology to back him. So it's like,
guarantee it probably happened to him. It was probably abuse begets abuse type thing, right?
Yeah, or who knows if he, which I'm not standing up for him, but just playing kind of devil's advocate, but who knows, like, if he could have spoke up about them, and like people just put that on him too, and like it never, you just I don't know.
Well, like look at Epstein.
Sorry, guys.
Right? Like
my cats are fighting right now and it's weird.
Oh, that's so funny. I think I was thinking that was my cats maybe. I was like, what is that noise?
Kitty's somewhere not liking that Smokey's near her and it was distracting.
That is our fucking life over here. Let me tell you, it's so frustrating.
They're just very worked up about the topic. It's a very hot button topic.
No doubt.
So, like, I mean, one thing that I kind of don't understand, and maybe I'm wrong, is that most religions aren't based in science, so
this one's a different one. This one's a whole other weird level.
That's what I mean. But like, how is it? Like, I know that they must have had the qualifications, but I just find that like most of the time the argument is science versus religion. That's always, I feel like, an old,
but
they just can't come together ever. So it's like, this is a place that they can somehow come together. And also, when asked about God, like, it's like just a whatever.
It's weird.
Not like some people believe in it, some people don't believe in God in Scientology, but it's not like you can't talk about him. So it's just like, I find that misleading. Like, how does it?
It's a very hybrid-y type meld of your religion is based on science and aliens.
Like, literally.
Usually don't go together.
So they must be freaking out. Maybe Xeno's coming right now, or like when his launches a couple weeks ago.
Xeno's about to sit his ass on the frickin' planet here soon.
Scientologist, you were right. He's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back for y'all.
I'm not trying to be rude, but like, are they getting excited when they hear like UFO stuff? Like, is it the same kind of UFOs, or?
I wonder.
I kind of wonder, right? If they're like, oh, it's happening now. It's everything, Like, I'm not trying to. Sorry.
L. Ron Hubbard is coming down.
Back. It's not that it's not going to happen, but I think it's like dedicating your entire life to that thought, I think, is the thing. There's nothing wrong with thinking. Right, sure. People think this is like the fucking Bible is coming to life right now. They think Jesus is coming back, whoever, and that the, what is it?
I'll believe it when I see
like he did in 2012.
But like, did we actually switch a timeline, y'all? Because the last fucking 10 years have been stupid. So
that's a whole other just conspiracy. Is the calendar,
right?
The calendar and months and blah blah blah. But.
Cults, not fucking conspiracies. Be focused. But like, I want to hear what you guys think too. We're not ending this yet, but like everything that we presented, like it seems very like one road. This is it. This is how it is.
This is your path.
This is your
you
path.
got blinders on.
You don't disagree.
Nothing else.
You don't see anything else. You don't see what's actually happening to humanity around you. Like said, like people getting like
it doesn't matter.
And, like it doesn't matter. Like it's not important. And when you have like no boundaries on age, when you're saying everyone's just a being, that there is a lot of
there's a problem with that.
Perverts, yes, out there that will say that they're, and we'll see this, and we won't get to it, but we'll see it in the next one, because this one isn't as sex focused as the other ones we're going to talk about. But that is also a very big theme, right? Yeah, and it's
that, or like the like one leader that like marries 18,000 members of the church, like shit like that. That's the one difference. Scientology is very odd in the sense that it is like a business, money-making, control thing.
Yeah.
But there is, like you said, essay stuff, and like there is like that kind of element, but only in kind of like, I hate to say it, it's very much like a real world type of where it's like in the background and hidden. It's still wrong, like blah blah blah. But there are some cults that are like,
that's part of their shit.
Bring on the freaking married children. Like it's like
literally.
No.
We're gonna do rituals with one woman a year.
It's so extreme.
And
so
everyone's volunteering to be that person to get killed.
Right?
Volunteers tribute.
I feel like that's how like it's so different though. Like it is not one of those like
the sex
well, that's
weird.
like there's a quote from a wise man named Joe Rogan, and he said the difference between a cult and a religion is that a cult is run by a psychopath, and a religion, that person has died.
Yeah, there you go. Bam.
Not saying if I agree or disagree, but
L. Ron Hubbard, rest in peace. That guy has died. Even though it was recently, he died.
Yeah, and he's coming back. That's kind of a theme too.
But
right?
it's also run by a psychopath, which now is Miscavige. So I feel like it is a
I think that was him just weighing to say there's not too many differences almost.
No, but it.
Not saying I agree or disagree. That was just a Rogan quote. That's all I'm saying.
Very much a religious cult, right?
Again, it starts good, and it happens with people that are looking for a movement, a cause, and that does seem to be people that have, in a religious
support
community type thing, and everyone looking for something bigger, and they get taken advantage of because these people are charismatic.
For sure.
Look at fucking Canadians and Trudeau. Like, come on, y'all. Like,
what? Doesn't take much to brainwash people these days.
I guess there was a lot of like single mothers and like vulnerable like stuff like that too. Like they definitely prey on like they know they can like
get in, and then you're fucked, because how are you going to get out now? How are you going to pay for your kids now? How are you going to, they have all your money. What
these
did
are
you
your
learn?
people now.
All that stuff that you're studying and you're doing is strictly for Scientology. So what is that going to do for you in the real world?
It doesn't better you in the real world. It doesn't give you any
like always like the indoctrinating schools and stuff. And there's a degree, like you need to have awareness when you're going into these. But that's very focused. So you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on these courses to learn that. That is not transferable to the rest of the world. Yeah. So it's like, I love what they were trying to do. I understand the meat and potatoes of it, fixing the world, fixing yourself, that self-help, going to the gym and sweating, taking your vitamins, self-checking, group checking. I think those are things that are super important.
Healing.
Those chives and that bacon is not what I'm looking for.
I was going to say, that gravy, though. That gravy's rotten.
Right? Like
that gravy's got to go.
Whatever's on top of that fucking potato is just not.
It's not it,
the
sis.
tea.
Yeah, it's like when you bite into a chocolate and it's like fucking, I don't know, a cherry.
Or those awful people that like chocolate dip Brussels sprouts.
Oh no, I like Brussels sprouts. I like chocolate.
It is a chocolate
black licorice.
Oh god. Oh, black licorice.
Chocolate dipped gummy bears, though, that is a whole other level of delicious.
Okay, if we're talking about things we do like, this could be a whole other episode on chocolate goodies we love.
But it definitely, like, it does have the basis.
Not chocolate lovers.
God, that is a whole cult on its own.
I am a part of that one. I will subscribe to that cult for sure.
But no, I feel like we said, all of them start with like a grain of like some form of positivity.
And I'm sure many members still have good intentions or great people, right? Yeah, even a lot of people who get to the top, they're still great people, but once they I don't know. Yeah.
And I think that I feel like exists. Do what you got to do. Remove the suppressiveness. Remove the, like, if you're not one of
disconnection.
Us, and disconnection of the family. I think that is,
and remove all the weird secrecy. If y'all have nothing to hide,
exactly.
Like, you'll get chased out of buildings. You get like blocked on streets. Like, if you're like people that try and interview in all the documentaries we've seen in the Leah Remini show, like, if they know you're coming there with a purpose to try and expose them, fair game is it goes from like locking the door on you to like trying to crash your car and like
harassing you and family members.
Members and like your kids and like parents and shit. Like, they
people who aren't even a part of it.
People in weird places that can do some seemingly like shady fucking shit. So
and again, it's like about that community part where it's like but you can't be holding all your bad people, and you need to hold them accountable. This is what we say.
They don't.
About, like, all movements, all religions. I have literally not a big deal with people are doing on their own time. I don't really give a fuck if you want to believe that, just don't hurt people. Don't lie to them. Don't con them into something. Don't scam them out of money. Do good to do good. Don't do this.
Be real. I'm sure a lot of people would still believe in the alien crap without having to be so negative.
They have to donate so much money and fucking get so like run down. Like, I feel like
still something else to believe in.
You could sell it if you just kind of
be so made a little about it.
Like, made it a little
so weird,
easier to attain.
Get rid of Tom Cruise. I don't think he's doing good. I think like maybe in the 90s he was probably better for you. Maybe the 2000s.
Now he's just a crazy
maybe the elders might still love him, and
he's a crazy mascot at this point. I feel like when you hear just Tom Cruise,
he's just a money. He's just a bank for them.
Dude, I was watching TV or Netflix today, and there's like a commercial for The Mummy. I'm like, that doesn't look like the Mummy I know, and it's a Tom Cruise.
They made a new one.
I'm pretty sure it's him, a Tom Cruise remake. It's a remake with someone, and I was just like,
who wants to see that?
What? I think
it is. The other guy, Brendan Fraser, right? That was who it was.
That's where I got my daughter's name
from. I feel like he was
you cannot replace that.
You cannot fuck that movie. Like, how dare you try and make a remake and like completely botch it with that being the lead and it's a female. Like, it was just very upsetting.
Did you guys see the deep fake of Tom Cruise?
No.
Like that,
dude, did you see the one? Did you see the one of Leonardo DiCaprio the other day and him making a speech and then changing his voice between Joe Rogan, Kim Kardashian,
Joe Biden,
Bill Gates, I think too.
Bill Gates. Like, there was a bunch of ones that they went through, and it was just like,
It's creepy as fuck.
Bruh.
That's AI in the
Is
future.
creepy as hell. Yeah, it was fucking Tom
Since our
Cruise
last
in
episode, so much
2017.
has fucking like developed even in that space. Like,
It's
since
been
we've talked, 'cause it's
absolutely
wild.
bananas.
I know.
Like,
And
bananas.
I feel like it's all gonna, like, this is coming. There's so many things coming to a head, I feel, in 2023. And
It's all the distractions, right?
Yeah, it is. But I feel like this is one of the things that it's like, there's people going hard against this religion. You know, we're just doing one episode to be like, hey, these are the weird things that we found about this. We think that this is good about it. We said nice things, guys. Don't be.
I was going to say, we shared what we found that was good.
Multiple times, actually. There's still a lot of good values at the bottom.
Yeah. There's not a lot of good, like, press on it, though. Like, you're not going to find a lot of printings of, like, yeah, Scientology is awesome. Like, you're getting, like, yeah, it's good up until here, but then it goes, like, train crash, like, crash afterwards. Like,
Jesus,
there's no...
take the wheel.
It's literally, like a screaming freight train down a fucking 90-degree angle hill. Like, there's just...
And it's crazy. And one thing, too, that I noticed, and like, we aren't into pharma, so, you know, I was like kind of taking this comment with a grain of salt. But, and the one thing that I also do really like about Scientology is that they do not like pharmaceuticals. They think they're drugs.
You do not go to the doctor. You do not go to the doctor.
And so I kind of like love that they are not into pharmaceuticals. However, there is a place for Western medicine, and they don't believe in psychiatry
at all,
right? Because you do that through auditing. So they don't believe it at all. It's like this, like,
they think psychiatrists are quacks, like complete quacks.
Complete quacks.
Coming from
so it's just like awkward, but
kettle calling the pot black.
Yeah.
Right? And so some people were saying that some of those that have passed in the past, like of cancer and stuff, that a lot of it was probably because they weren't able to get to treatment because that's just not what they believe. And I can't remember who it was that had postpartum depression that was talking about it. And Tom Cruise is like, nope, like, I just don't believe that. Like, I just don't believe that that's a thing. Like, nope.
He was pretty open about it too in interviews too. Like, he would tell people, like, straight up, no, that's a gimmick. Like, you don't need that. It's a crap.
Yeah. And it's drugs.
Which I'm with you. I totally agree. Because, like, they are super against pharma, which I am too. I mean, sorry to say.
Yeah.
That's fine. And there is, like, good bits, but I mean, they're not into pharma, but they're gonna sell you on this, like, weird e-meter that can solve your problems, and, like, going to the sauna and, like,
the cans. That's what they always refer. I don't ever want to hold those cans again. Like, so.
Well, because they're not like small handheld. Like, they're like a decent size. You have to sit there and hold it. Like,
it's like fucking Scientologists going to ex-Scientologist going into the soup aisle at the fucking grocery store, just having a
just like
attack.
PTSD. Like, oh yeah. Seriously,
sorry, it's not funny because there is, and I don't mean to like laugh.
No, to make light of PTSD, but it's still
you gotta kind of like,
you can't giggle and laugh.
You have
There's something wrong with you.
You can't have dark humor. We can't get rid of dark humor, guys. Like, I will die if we get rid of dark humor. But just
we'll just shut down.
Listeners should know by now.
Yes, listeners should know by now. But I just mean, like, I don't know, y'all. I feel like religion is supposed to be something that you're very, like, free and open to talk about and uplifting. And most people that I find that are part of a positive religion are sharing that with the world and actually, like, doing decent things. Now, does that mean all religions are great? No. There is fucking pedophiles and gross maps all over the place, everywhere.
Yep.
But
and it seems to be a lot in the religion area.
Yes. Oh God, yes. And
hate to say it.
Keeping it quiet and like holding it down for the rest of your people so that you don't look bad. But it's like, what? You can't just, you can. So the one other thing I wanted to mention too on this documentary, this is like a series. He knew about the brainwashing. And so I guess it said to go through this like most traumatic time in your life and tell me what happened. Yeah. And so he did. And by the time he got out of this auditing session, the story was completely different than as he walked in, and he knew he was going to get brainwashed, and he still got brainwashed. And he came back to the other guy and told him about what his experience was, and the guy was there, and he was like, "That wasn't your experience at all. Like,
they gaslight you hard.
The gaslighting's hard to like, why did you do that? Nope." And to the point where you have to repeat it till you get it right, and then you can move on. So it's like, what does that even mean?
They did that a lot with the confessions they made in like auditing, like classes or whatever about like the essay that was going on. If you said that it was like an higher up or like a like commander or like a leader or whatever, they would no, I don't think that's how it went. Like, are you sure that's what it is? Like, they would manipulate the stories into like something that it wasn't, and they gaslit you and manipulated you into whatever they wanted. Yeah. Literally.
And a big thing
and to confessing to weird things that especially, you didn't do.
Yeah. And this one, he said that he was and you watched him, he was very interested if he was gay. Now, the guy, he's like, are you gay? And he was like, well, I don't think so. I mean, I blew a guy once, like me and my friends blew a guy. And then the auditor was like,
so casually,
was like, were you high or drunk? And he was like, nope, me and my friends just decided to blow a guy, but we're not gay. So what they actually did, and while they were showing this, is that they went around, they found someone on Craigslist that was looking for someone to blow them, met them at the beach, and literally blew them with a fucking like leaf blower and chased him around the beach and was blowing him with the leaf blower and was just saying in the story, well, yeah, we blew a guy. Fuck, I died. It's the funniest. Honestly, guys, it's the funniest documentary. We'll 100% link it when we launch this, because y'all have to watch it, and you have to watch all the other real YouTubers about Scientology.
There's so many,
on it for once, but y'all get so much information. Like I said, Aaron Levine Smith, huge one, growing up in Scientology. Leah Remini, Mike Rinder, did a lot of their legal stuff, and so he knows a lot of their like law parts. He just started his own YouTube channel, and there's like a journalist that just got fired from their job for reporting on Lisa Marie Presley, because like we said, the Presleys were into this, but Elvis was not. He didn't like it. No. He thought it was too structured and it wasn't free enough, and so he actually like backed away from it, but then obviously passed, and then his wife and daughter remained in.
They probably went in right when he died because they were going to be vulnerable and broken.
Well, it was grief stricken, so they were looking for comfort and support.
Yeah,
which Scientology will give you until they can get their meat hooks in you.
Until you're broken, you can't go fucking anywhere else. Like,
I know.
Then you need them to live.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, guys, you decide. You let us know. You comment back. Do you think this is a cult or not? My vote is going to lean, sorry. When you start being more honest about stuff and let people talk about their experiences without attacking them. And just like roundhousing, like the government just did that for the last couple of years. We're on to all of this. So my vote. Hales, what's your vote?
Well, I haven't mentioned it till now because I'm waiting for people to watch it out, and I don't think they will, but this one hits close to home. I have someone in part of my family that is in Scientology, but they only partake in the lower level self-help shit. They have been since I was easily 16, 17. So it's been a long time. They still believe that it is helpful. But the second I saw the Leah Remini stuff, it just really like tore me to pieces, thinking that they were getting taken advantage of, and I tried to express it. They wanted nothing to do with me. To hear it anyways, we still are in contact. They're not in the weird suppressive person disconnection stage. So,
good.
But after everything, it is a religious cult. I will give them religious cult because they are legally filed as one, but it is very
because they
much
have 16 plus religions apart, so I'll call them a religion.
I am.
They have a church or some shit. I fucking
they got a couple churches, so
right.
They give a lot of money.
It's definitely a yes for me. It's a yes for me, dog.
Yeah, we need to have one of those.
That's gonna be a yes for me, dog.
That's a big Y over here. What do you guys think? Like, and again, I don't want anybody, if for some fucking reason, some real Scientologists, we don't know. Like I said, you want to come on the show and tell us, this is what the internet is telling us. This is what your past members are saying. This is what people out there feel about you.
This is information that everyone can find. It is out there.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, I suggest, instead of trying to silence everyone like the Canadian government, you just actually come out and share the honest truth about stuff and be real, babes, about this, and have people come in with informed consent. We have this on the show. It is our baseline, informed consent. A lot of people don't have that here.
And there's nothing wrong with religion and spirituality. Like, we're not knocking that in the slightest. But cult-wise, sorry.
We got some beef there.
It is what it is.
And it's, again, cutting off family, not letting you talk about it. Those types of things,
the awful
is culty and
side effects.
Yes, and
manipulative,
gaslighting. You know, you
Those
had
aren't
to put
usually
list goes on.
Yeah, it's not associated with positivity usually.
No, and so
Yep.
it's like, come on, guys, like, and just also one last thing before I go, I'll try and post this, but there was actually a Wikipedia list, a list of religions, because I was like, maybe it's on the list of religions, and
Tell
you
me it
scroll
is.
down the list, and it is not on there. Scientology is
I
not
feel
listed.
I feel like the religions don't want to recognize it as a religion, and the cults are
Yeah.
like, you're not a cult, you're a religion. Like they're that weird in between. Like no
Yeah.
one wants them.
Yeah,
No one wants to be
sometimes
associated
unwanted
with them. No one
stepchild.
wants nothing to do with them. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
ugly redheaded stepchild
is.
of religions, and
It
they're like,
is, and
nah,
it's
bitch,
yeah,
you
and
ain't
it's
being
not.
included on this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not on any list anywhere that is on here by like population.
They
by
truly though want to be their own thing. They want to be so unique.
I mean, the
in their
fact that
own
their
category.
religion has a head office and main website. Literally Scientology.com, head office, main website. Then you can branch off to all the other places. Like,
dude, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Oh my
And I think
God.
that was another thing too. So then the guys went, so they went to obviously this, and they had to pay like $500, $2,500 for books. And then they went to like a Christian church, and they asked for a Bible, and the guy, and they was trying to give money. And he was like, oh, yeah, here, just have one for free. And he's like, so what they went into Scientology is they said, I sold my friend's Xbox to buy this. And she was like, well, is your friend going to be mad? And he's like, well, I don't know. You said I needed to buy this book, so I'm buying this book. And she was like, okay, well, he might be mad about that, but like did not stop him, took the money and left. When it was the Christians, they were like, please take this Bible, please go return the Xbox and give that back to your friend. You can have this for free. And I'm not like saying Christians are better than Scientologists. What I'm saying is if you truly care about the word of whatever you're trying to promote, newcomers especially, you'd think you'd want to like give them something to like
take it for gratis.
Exactly.
Take it all.
Free, like gratuit. It's yours.
Like
gratuit. Gratuit. But like, you know, like, come on. That's just my thoughts. So I would say if you don't want to be viewed as this because the collective world thinks that you're this,
don't act like it.
Course correction
exactly.
Here.
Yeah.
Get rid of Tom Cruise, number one. He's got a deep fake and you have no idea what's going to come out of that. And two, like a lot of your survivors aren't saying good things. So maybe listen.
They're not coming out lollipops and rainbows.
And nobody's coming back. Has anybody risen from the, like, where's his billion contract? I would imagine at this point someone would have died to have come back and that signed contract.
$1 billion years.
Where are they?
Absolutely insane.
This sounds like science fiction.
I feel like all cults have that weird, like, 1,000-year contract, 6 million year contract, billion-year contract. Like, that is, like stigmatic to,
end of a life.
No kidding.
You don't get to reborn anything else. This is forever. It's just, it's wild, guys. So I would suggest to learn about them properly. You came here to listen to our opinions. This is our opinions on this. But go learn from real people. Don't just take our word of what we said. This is what we
do the research.
Go do the research for yourself and decide. And the reason there's a kind of a reason behind this whole month is because we want you guys to start seeing the certain pattern and behaviors that we see in these known accused cults versus some of the things that we have maybe seen over the last couple of years in people's thought processes and how maybe this will explain to some people how the last couple of years happened, how people could be so not into questions, not into opposing opinions. Anybody else is a suppressive, terrible, racist, fringe minority person.
It's like the bandwagon theory and the bandwagon mentality, right? Just because everyone's making that decision doesn't mean you need to, and you need to look into it for yourself and do research for yourself instead of just, oh, well, this is what I heard, so it's like,
and don't even take our words. Like, I could be a fucking liar. I could have fell on 18 different websites and videos of liars. I don't know.
But
all AI at this point.
Show us different, right?
Yes, come on, show us.
How do you know you're actually watching us right now?
How do you know we're real? It could be a simulation. There's a glitch in the Matrix. I'm just saying. But this is fun. Do we have anything else to add? Does anybody else have anything to add for this one?
No, I think that was it.
So.
For our first episode?
I love you, and I'm sorry if you watch this, but it is what it is. You know my feelings. We just don't talk about it openly. Love you.
And there's no shade. I love people wanting to make themselves better. I just don't think you need to give up your money, your savings, your family,
your freedom, your time,
your friends. I don't think
everything.
You need to build an echo chamber.
I feel like there's a lot of other courses and books that will help you and teach the same thing.
They're cheaper
without
too, like
even being a part
$30
of such
on
negativity.
Amazon, $50 in a bookstore. Like there's a lot better out there.
And you can still like read it, but just like be aware if you're taking advantage of.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
If you feel like you're getting sucked in, you can't ask questions, you feel like maybe you've lost a lot of people around you, you're not exactly who you want to be or who you thought you were, and all of a sudden you're this different person, like those are flags that someone's messing with your brain.
You need red flags and green flags. We're going to get them for the next one. Can we?
I know.
Yeah.
I would have a big yes there.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm totally making some for the next episode.
I love it.
Yes.
This is awesome. Well, guys, this is our first episodes of Cults or Not.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, girls. Thank you so much. Friends,
that was fun.
If you're watching a video, subscribe, like, YouTube, Rumble, Apple. Guys,
all of that.
Spotify.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it like we've talked about it in the first episode, but like those views, keep them fucking coming. Like
rumble it up. Rumble.
Help us grow. Share it out. Comment, like. If you want to come on the show, suggest it.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot us a DM.
You agree, disagree.
Let us know.
We love it all. We love it all.
If you have an experience that you want to bring up, let's talk about it. This month we're talking about cults. Next month we're talking about operations. Government operations. I'm excited for that one too. We have so many good things coming up, guys. But as always,
many
like,
interesting
subscribe.
ones.
Yep, follow us. Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest will be on, Rumble, YouTube. Listen,
all the good.
Season 5.
I can't wait.
It's coming in hot. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for stopping by the show today. We appreciate you so much. If you like this episode and you want to hear more, make sure to show us some love on our Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest page, the Be Real Babe Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble channels, like those episodes, and turn on the notification bells. You can find our video version of the show on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, or you can catch the audio version on Apple and Google Podcast. But stay tuned for more realness coming to you soon. Until next time, babes.